And I was like, okay, I've heard of the Silhouette Gundam, but I don't think I've heard of the Kai. So let's actually jump into the lore real quick of the RXF 91A Silhouette Gundam Kai. So this is something that was introduced in Mobile Suit Gundam Silhouette Formula 91. First thing I noticed looking at it is, let me actually move something out of it. No, I can't move. I designed it that way. Hold up. Okay, there we go. Just get a better look at it. What I like about it is it looks like the F91, but it has something which I think is a consistent theme I sometimes like, is the chonkiness. It's like that Kunio Okawara chonkiness on the F91 that it's just right. And something the F91 does, Seed does, the 90s Mecha Gundams do, or they have the bigger, longer shoulders, which to me sometimes looks too exaggerated and goofy. But in this shot, the design looks very functional because you could see like multiple thrusters, multiple panels. And I think that really lends to this being like that beefier type of, F91.
Is it still super short?
Oh, good question. I bet.
15 meters instead of 18.
Yep. 15. Yep. So yeah, still short. So, but as cool as this looks, the new interpretation looks really good. In fact, they leaned into the chunkiness. It's like they leaned away from F91 to really interpret it the way it was meant to.
Yeah.
A couple things this modern one did. Oh, what's that?
The head is smaller. Like it's
right. I think that proportionally kind of helps with it. I feel like heads that are too big make it look too much like a human or superhero instead of like a machine. And I think that's the problem with a lot of interpretations of the new Gundam, where the head is actually kind of big compared to their body. So the other thing is on the left shoulder, it doesn't have the decal, which is unfortunate. I think that looked good. What the original has,
like part of the thing in GBO2 is like, how you can add your own decals. Like, now, I don't know that decal will be available. I hope that it will, because that would be awesome to be able to add to any mobile suit. But like,
right. No, good call on that. I didn't think about that, because also on the knees of the top of the knees, there's these triangles that they started to be introduced in the 80s, and when Gundam came out anyway, but in the MSVs, when they would do the real type markings, they would add these triangles to certain areas, and they even would do that to like the F91, just the modern release. But they did remove that. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, I feel like that triangle is more of that's the 80s real type marking. Yeah. But now you can take that away, but still have, and this has minimal markings in general anyway, but again, like you said, GBO2, they want you to get the decals. So I guess what I'm coming back to is I really find it interesting sometimes how GBO2 will have these amazing interpretations of mobile suits that we may never even see again, ever. Like, how often are they going to modernize the Silhouette Formula 91?
Very true. And it's one of those things where eventually this game will reach end of life, right? And it's going to be up to the fans of the game to maintain it and create their own servers to run the game, because there will come a time when you go to try and log in to play GBO2 and it's not going to fire up.
But luckily, and you know what? I feel so bad. So the people that are running the Gundam Evolution project, like if you still want to play Gundam Evolution, they reached out to me to give me data to make a new video, and I got to do that. I haven't got to that yet. But that just gives me hope, especially since it's been ported to PC, that when GBO2 does shut down, it could be made into a better game.
Honestly, I think it probably will be.
Because even Gundam Evolution's getting mods right now. I want to say it even has the F91, if it wasn't in the original. Like,
that wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
One of the updates, yeah. So yeah, I think it's called Side 7. There's a Discord for it, and it's if you guys want to play Gundam Evolution, you can that way. Okay. Anyway, that was a quick little look at the Silhouette Formula 90. Actually, no, I didn't finish. Let me go back. I wanted to finish something. I totally forgot. I read about it earlier. Where was it? Okay. Yeah, after the RX-F91 Silhouette Gundam, which was the original version before the Kai, broke through the Crossbow Vanguard siege in the Zebra Zone, that was new to me. Never heard of Zebra Zone. The damaged Gundam was taken back to Anaheim Electronics and refurbished as the RX-F91A Silhouette Gundam Kai. What's interesting about that is this is around UC 123. UC 0123, which it's interesting that it's still Anaheim Electronics and not
SNRI.
SNRI. I was about to say TCR. What's the one from Ninja Turtles?
TGRI?
Yeah, something like that. No, SNRI. So I find that very interesting. So if we click back, developed from, okay, so it's developed from, that one, F90 VSBR type SNRI. So at one point, the F90 line got to Anaheim Electronics, and then they're just still doing work. So I don't
probably
know.
selling them to both sides the way that Anaheim always does.
Well, I wonder, and I haven't looked into this much, if like in the UC, okay, so this says UC 112. So by the 120s, was Anaheim and SNRI working together still? I find that interesting. I don't know how much they're working together or stealing technology.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it being a lot like that scene in Iron Man 2 where Justin Hammer gets his hands on one of the Iron Man suits and he's like, oh, yes, like I finally get to work with something that Stark did that like I can put my own spin on.
Right.
Like, because can you imagine your Anaheim Electronics and this SNRI suit falls into your lap and you're like, I think we can add a little chunk here. Let's get our lead designer Kunio Okawara over here to put some Anaheim flair on it.
That's a good idea for like a lore video to frame it that way. Of like a guy that it's like Anaheim, they've been beat by SNRI, but they got a hold of some SNRI tech.
Yep.
And that's another interesting thing. So the Anaheim Electronics F91s, or at least the Kai, doesn't have the same advanced biocomputer that the F91 has. So I wonder if that's also an SNRI thing, but it still has some sort of brain interface or but it's not as much as like the F91.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting stuff there. I'm always fascinated with that sort of timeline of mobile suits within Universal Century when it's shifting from the legacy of Xeon, Federation, Amuro, Char into this more of kind of a free, oppressive state. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's really a overall someone's in charge, and there's we'll learn more from Hathaway.